Guys, today we're here with Scotty Tregellas to talk about one of the most important things that we've ever talked about, and that is credit. Guys, before I met Scotty is one of our original cartel bosses. You were on Investorlift since day one.
Yeah.
Literally since day one.
Top 50, I believe. One of the first.
Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe top 10, top 20.
Yeah.
And before I met you, I had a shit credit score. I was paying for all my travel. I was always flying economy. Mm-hmm. And I had almost no access to credit. My credit was in the tens of thousands. Mm-hmm. Now, after working with Scotty is my credit and money guy. When I want access to capital, I go to Scotty because I trust him. We've worked together for many years. And since we started working together, my credit is now the best it has ever been. I can get any credit card approved right away. I have access to dry capital. I basically have unlimited credit. Mm-hmm. I even have, a lot of people think the Amex is baller, right? People are like, oh, Amex, everyone's flexing with their Amex. I now have the JP Morgan Palladium card. Mm-hmm. This is made of $2,500 of solid palladium metal. Tell people about this card.
Yeah, it's actually one of the top 4 most exclusive credit cards in the world. This one is by JP Morgan Chase. You have to have a net worth of $100 million, liquid assets of $10 million with Chase just to be able to get this card. And we were able to, work on your personal credit, optimize your business credit, and get you access to one of the most exclusive credit cards in the world, the Chase Palladium.
And the points that I get using that card, running all my expenses through that card, allow us to do stuff like we're doing right now. Where are we right now? Tell people where we are.
We are in northern Norway. You can see here in the background. I mean, this is a dream. We're in northern Norway. We travel together every year. We leverage credit card points. It always irked me when you would take trips to Dubai and spend tens of thousands of dollars.
$30,000 for one first class seat.
Yeah, absolutely. And you take the whole team. And I'm like, Robert, man, you spend so much with Investorlift. If you're using the right credit cards in the right way, you could pay for yourself and the entire team to fly first class for free.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when we, started leveraging those credit card points, and now we just travel the world for free. Every year we come together somewhere in the world for New Year's, and we're traveling the right way. See, it's really cool when you can afford to fly first class and travel in luxury.
Yeah,
but it's even cooler when you don't have to.
My flights here were supposed to be $30,000 for SAS. Was the airline, lay flats, 30 racks.
Yeah, same. My flight was 28,900 some for 2 first class seats from Vegas to Las Vegas, from Las Vegas to Chicago, Chicago to Oslo, or Chicago to Munich, Munich to Oslo, first class, $30,000, and I ended up paying $101. And here's something else that irked me, the way you were using your points in the very beginning was when you did realize you can book free travel, you were just taking the points that you had and booking trips.
Yeah,
you weren't
through the credit card
moving
company.
them correctly.
Yeah, I wasn't travel hacking.
Yeah, no, so that wasn't travel hacking. That was just paying by points, right? And so that's when we dove even deeper, and I showed Robert, it's like, look, when you're moving the points correctly and leveraging them right, you're saving tens of thousands of dollars. So yes, I booked this trip for $30,000, and I only paid $101.
Yeah.
But what's even more impressive is that I only used 174,000 points in order to book that, right? So a lot of people prefer cash back. That would only be, $1,700.
Yeah.
Right?
Stupid
for
shit.
a point to cash ratio.
But most people don't know this stuff. It was mind blowing for me because literally there's my life before I met Scotty and my life after, right? My life before was having to pay down the credit card multiple times per month because I had such a low credit limit because I had some bullshit on my credit report. I had some fraudulent accounts. Yeah. I had a bunch of different stuff. I didn't have long credit history. I didn't have any trade lines. All the things that you teach, I just was completely ignorant. And then I knew about credit card points, but I was doing the 1% cash back because I'm like, oh, it's free cash, which is the dumbest shit. I spent in 1 year almost $1 million on conferences and travel with my team. Now today I have completely unlimited credit, pretty much, essentially unlimited credit. I have the best credit cards in the world that give me so many points that my entire team, anytime we go to conferences or whatever, we don't pay for anything. Right. We fly first class. VIP everywhere. When we go to the hotels, we're automatically upgraded.
Yep.
We book a regular hotel room. Also, we're upgraded to like the premium suites. We have elite status with every airline. We get free checked bags.
Yeah.
And then on the personal side too, like a lot of people think on the business side, like, a lot of people focus on that, but on the personal side, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I can do trips like this that would normally, people like, we're probably going to post some videos about what we were doing on this trip. It was absolutely insane. We're living like billionaires.
Yeah.
They're living like billionaires, flying first class, staying at some of the most incredible places in the world. I don't have to pay for any of it.
No.
Right? I don't have to pay for any of it because I'm using my points effectively. But as a business owner, I remember like before I met you, I had sleepless nights because I was running everything out of my checking account.
Yeah.
And when you're running everything out of my checking account, businesses, you're first getting started, the revenue is not like steady. It's like a roller coaster, especially if you're a real estate wholesaler. Like you have a bunch of closings one month, you got a ton of cash, okay, and then it happens you focus on dispo, and then you let go of your pipeline, and then you have a couple like really horrible months. So you're like, you're through the moon, and then all of a sudden you can't sleep for a couple months.
Correct.
And then you're through the moon, and you can't sleep for a couple months. Access to credit allows you to even that out. When you have a bad month, you're able to tap into that credit, right? And then when you have a good month, you pay that down. But also what it allows you to do is scale a lot more effectively. Like I always said, if you guys have watched my content, there's only two numbers that really matter in a real estate wholesaling business. Number one is return on ad spend. For every dollar we plug into marketing, how many dollars do we get back, right? We want to be in that 5 to 10x range or higher, ideally if we can. And number two, what is our cash conversion cycle? When we plug a dollar into marketing, how many days does it take us to get that money back? Now, if I know that, hey, on my when I buy leads or when I run my Google ads, every dollar that I plug in, I get $5 or $6 back, and I do that consistently in worst case scenario under 60 days, then basically you have a money machine. Like if I had a money machine in front of me, and every time I plugged a dollar into that money machine, 60 days later it printed out a $5 bill, guess what? I want to jam as many $1 bills in there as I can.
Correct.
Right? But what happens is a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we're capital constrained. But imagine we have access to credit. Now, this is dangerous if you don't have those metrics dialed in. Like if you're just getting started and you start screwing around with credit, that can be dangerous. It can backfire. You could get into debt. But if you're watching this, you're probably an experienced investor, right? You probably know what those numbers are. If you know what return on ad spend is, if you know what your cash conversion cycle is, then it's actually insane for you to not leverage credit and use credit to plug into that machine. Correct. Because when I borrow that money, I don't have to pay it back for 30 days.
Right.
Not only that, but I'm racking up points, right? Like all your business expenses possible should be running through credit cards. Pretty much everything should be running through credit cards.
Absolutely. There's two reasons why businesses fail, right? The first one is they don't have access to capital. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. The second one is they're using cash, therefore running out of cash and not being able to scale because one, they didn't have credit, and two, they just spent all their cash, right?
Yeah.
So if we were in a big room of people and I asked for a raise of hands, how many people could scale their business 10 times faster if they had access to $250,000? Everyone would raise their hands, right? The biggest restraint to people being able to scale their business is not having access to capital, right? So yeah, if someone went out and had $250,000 in cash, that's great, but you don't want to use that to start or scale a business. There's too much risk, right? And in wholesaling, the turnaround is on average, 60 to 90 days to get your money back. If you're spending $10,000 a month in marketing, another $10,000 in operations, you just spent $60,000 in the first 3 months, and there's half your expense, right?
Yeah.
With a credit card, I mean, that's one credit card. That's 1/3 of one of my credit cards.
Yeah.
Right? 0% interest for 12 months. That means I can spend double my budget. So now I'm spending $20,000 a month in marketing, $10,000 in operations, and I can do that over the next 3 months. I can actually do that over the next 12 months, and I only have the minimum payment that I need to pay for, which is just 1% of the balance.
Absolutely incredible. And then once that money comes back, you pay the card off.
Yeah.
Boom, now you got way more cash. Now you're in a way better cash position. Now you're sleeping better at night.
Yep. You rinse and repeat that process, always leveraging credit. That way, in case of a situation like COVID, right? We never knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going to come afterwards. Therefore, people were still running their businesses and draining their bank accounts.
Yeah.
And those who were leveraging credit and leveraging it the right way, they were using credit cards and keeping their businesses alive during that pandemic at no risk. Why? Because they only had to pay back 1% every single month. Therefore, keeping their cash reserves in their bank, keeping their family and their homes safe and comfortable, they were able to sleep at night.
Yeah, and the guys that doubled down killed it.
Yep.
They absolutely killed it. They grabbed market share, and I know guys that went from being $100,000 a month companies to $500,000 a month companies because they have access to capital. So guys, this is literally one of the most important things that you need to focus on. Scotty, again, he's one of the original OG Investorlift cartel bosses. He's been working with us for years. We do New Year's together every year, somewhere in the world, completely paid for with credit card points. Like I said earlier in this video, there's my life before Scotty fixed my credit and after. It's been one of my biggest game changers in my business and also in my personal life, being able to, live a baller lifestyle, but also sleep better at night, knowing that I got a shit ton of dry powder to play with. And if you got shit credit and you don't have enough credit and you're not leveraging points and you don't understand travel hacking, you need to learn these things. Like if you just spent a weekend diving deep, spend a weekend diving deep on these things and learning these things, it's gonna change the rest of your life, right? It's literally gonna make the rest of your life 10 times easier, just like it did for me. And like it did for so many of our other top Investorlift users. Like I would say probably 30% of our top Investorlift users all use you and learn from you, and you're kind of the guy that's giving them access to all this stuff, and that's why they're scaling so fast. Like I can only help so much with the software, right? I'm gonna help you display the properties faster at higher prices. But if you don't have access to capital, go double down on your Google ads, double down on purchasing leads, double down on ramping up your business. It doesn't matter what we do for you on dispositions. You're not going to be ramping up acquisitions as fast as you can. So this is why I said this is one of the most important videos we've ever done. And what I want all of you guys to do is just block off a weekend and dive deep on this one thing, because it literally will change your life personally and in your business. So Scotty, let's talk about, we talked about a few things that we might be able to do with people from Investorlift. You want to speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a program that teaches business owners specifically how to get access to credit like Robert and I have. The goal is to get you minimum $250,000 in credit, because we understand the
$250,000.
$250,000 and 0% interest.
Not a typo.
Yeah.
$250,000.
$250,000 is very, very easy if you optimize it the right way.
Yeah, now I want you guys to imagine, if you're watching this, imagine what your problems are in your business right now and the amount of stress you have right now, and then imagine what those problems would feel like if you had $250,000 of credit that you could tap into.
So the whole end goal is getting access to as much credit as possible at 0% interest. And how we have to do that is dial in your personal credit. So if you need it repaired, we're going to teach you exactly how to repair it. Not only repair it, but repair it in less than 5 days. We specialize in what's called the 5-day credit sweep, removing all the negatives in literally 5 days, okay? Now, just because you don't have negatives doesn't mean you have great credit. So personal credit establishment. The goal for all of our clients is to have a 740 plus personal credit score, because that is the base foundation, okay, of everything moving forward.
Once you get that, America runs on credit. Once you got a 740, all of a sudden the door is open.
Absolutely. I actually have 4 clients, all worth over $250 million each, and they understand, yes, we have all this cash, but it doesn't mean anything if we don't have credit. Banks can still deny you no matter how much liquid cash you have, right? So in America, credit is very, very important. So personal credit is the foundation.
And I'll tell a story about that. This is what finally pushed me to actually sign up with Scotty. I was going to buy a Tesla. You remember this? When I was going to buy my Tesla, Model S Plaid, the fastest car in the world, does 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. I make a decent amount of money, right? Like Investorlift brings in enough where I could buy 10 of those per month in cash. And I applied for my auto loan, and because I had some stuff on my credit report that wasn't that great, A lot of bullshit. Like I had a router that I never returned after I moved, and they put a $20
collection
for not returning the router, and that was on my credit report for 7 freaking years. And now I had like something with collections that I didn't even know about, because of course they sent the invoice to my apartment that I'd already moved out of. Like, so there's a bunch of dumb stuff like that. That then when I applied for my financing, they wanted, it was a $190,000 car. They wanted me to put $85,000 down, and then this was back like pre-COVID when you could get car loans for like, I don't know, like
3%, 2%. Mine's 1.99.
Yeah, 1.99. That's incredible. They wanted like 12% on the balance, and I was like, screw you guys. So I ended up just buying the car in cash. But like that's $190,000 of cash out of my pocket.
Yeah.
If I had been able to tap into a 3% car loan, I could put that $190,000 back to work in my business, where I can earn 10x on it. But I was just so butthurt about the fact that they're like trying to offer me this like crazy rate.
Yeah.
And then I picked, you'd already been talking to me about it for like a long time, like, hey man, let me help you. And then I was like, nah, like I'm okay, like I'm fine. Like I have a couple credit cards, like whatever. I just use cash for most stuff. And then finally when I like applied for that loan, I had crazy income and everything. I'm like, of course I'm gonna get a good rate. No.
That was the point of realization, that it doesn't matter how much money you make. Credit is king in America.
Yeah.
And this is the problem that I see with a lot of people that come to me, is they try to get access to credit cards, loans, anything for their business, and also personal, so they can start their wholesale operation or start their business, and they're doing it the wrong way in the beginning, which then makes it even harder for you to correct and then apply in the future.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, you know, it's very important that this whole knowledge base isn't really out there. It's not taught in schools.
No.
There isn't a college course for this, right? This took me 7 years of trial and error in helping over 1,000 business owners get capital, right? So again, personal credit optimization, business credit establishment. This is building credit around your EIN, making your EIN just as creditable as you, the CEO. Because it's very important to have both your entity and yourself to be very credible, because then you can leverage both to get access to multiple 6 figures in credit, okay? But one thing a lot of people don't realize, what's very important, is relationships, right?
Yeah.
You have to have relationships with banks like JP Morgan, like Amex, right? If they know who you are and you're credible, here's the biggest secret when it comes to credit cards: you actually get to request your credit limits. Why do I have multiple credit cards of $80,000+ limits? Because I ask for it. Because I'm credible on the personal side, I'm credible on the business side, and I have that relationship and I just ask for it. My biggest regret was not asking for more, because it's just so easy, right?
Yeah.
You don't know that. So that's why I created this program, to put out this information for all of you guys, so you know exactly what to apply for, when to apply for it, how to apply for it, and why. And within the credit stacking side, we're actually going to teach you how to optimize those cards, right? So for example, in wholesaling, it's very important to use the correct cards on the right expenses. And this is something I've helped Robert with. And you know,
if you don't know this, like you're just flushing money down the toilet.
Right. So for example, PPC guys, marketing guys, wholesale guys, look, you either want to use the Amex Gold for your marketing, all PPC, because you're getting 4x rewards, right? But that's a charge card.
400%.
That's a charge card.
Yeah.
If you guys need a little bit more time to pay off those balances, you want to go after a credit card. Which credit card, Scotty? The Chase Inc. Preferred Card, where you also get 4%, 4x rewards. Now, those both are travel credit cards. You optimize the spend, use those cards for the right thing, you accumulate all these points, and you end up in Norway with us, or somewhere in the world, wherever we're at next year, right? For 100% free, right? So obviously, we've optimized your personal credit, your business credit, bank relationships, credit stacking. So now you have access to the credit. You know how to use the credit the right way. Now the reward is being able to travel for free. I've documented every trip of mine, including this one. My return flight home was $15,000, a lot cheaper. So $30,000, $45,000 in flights, and I spent a total of $300 cash, right? And that's what allows us to be in Airbnbs like this, right? And get upgrades for free. So what I created was an all-in-one program. It does not exist. All 4 categories of credit that you need to be able to do what it is that we do every single day in our lives. Every entrepreneur needs to know these 4 categories: personal, credit, business credit, credit stacking, and travel hacking. It doesn't exist, and I've created that now. Now, we've been talking here on vacation. We want to do something special with Investorlift users.
Yeah.
I want to create a crash course specifically for Investorlift users, past, present, and future, okay? You're going to receive an email with a crash course of what credit cards to use, how to optimize your personal, your business credit, how to apply for these credit cards, when to apply for them, and the biggest secrets that you need to know to travel hack.
Absolutely incredible. So like guys, don't let this go to waste. This is one of the highest return on investment activities that you can do as a CEO. Literally all it takes is one weekend. A lot of people think like, oh, this is gonna take forever. No, it's one weekend. You spend one weekend on this and all of a sudden you're traveling like a baller, first class everywhere. You got premium membership status at Marriott, Hilton, with all the airlines. You get access to all the lounges. When you have a bad month, you're not stressed because you know, hey, okay, I got a ton of cash coming in. In 2 months, I can just leverage my credit cards this month, pay them off when the cash comes in. You can invest in marketing knowing that you're gonna be able to get 5, 10x return. It'll completely change your life. You have to do this. They should teach this in every school, but they don't. But this is the secret that like the wealthy people teach their kids, right? Like the wealthy people, it's interesting. I know wealthy friends where like as soon as their kids are like 14 or 15, they open credit cards for them and start making big purchases on those credit cards. I had a friend who like the parents, when they like renovated their house, they opened a credit card in the kid's name and would buy like all the appliances and stuff on that credit card just to start building up that kid's credit. Because the rich people understand this. This is really like the keys that unlock the kingdom in America. And you're either in the club or you're not. So if you don't know how to do this stuff, you're not in the club. We want you guys to be in the club. And Sky's putting together a mini course for all you guys. It's gonna be absolutely incredible. Do not miss out on this. This is literally one of the most important things that you can do as a CEO for your business.
Guys, you know me. If you do know me, you know I love to give, and add tons of value. So there's gonna be tons of value in this Investorlift crash course, okay? But if you are ready to go all in, just click the link below, but make sure you type in Investorlift in the coupon code, and I've got a little something in there for you too.
Yeah, guys, do not miss out. The only way you're gonna get, so we got a free mini course, right? And then if you wanna just get the whole thing done, like block off a weekend, get the whole thing done, go to that link and just put in Investorlift, and you're gonna have the best deal that Scotty's ever given anyone on this course ever, period. My recommendation would be just do the full thing. Like just get it done. Like
Sneak
this
peek.
is very serious. You're gonna get a huge return on investment.
There's over 150 videos already recorded, and I'm never going to stop adding value. In the credit world, laws change every single quarter. Offers and perks from credit cards change. You know, everything is always changing and revolving, and it is my job to keep you guys updated, okay? You shouldn't, as a high-level CEO, you should never have to think about credit, right? That's where you just log in to our program, just go all in, and we'll do the work for you.
Absolutely incredible. So, Scott, I gotta thank you so much for what you've done in my life and what you've done in the lives of all, like, you know, a majority of the top guys on Investorlift, like all the big names. You work with all of them. And I'm super excited to now officially today be opening this up to everyone on Investorlift. So everyone on Investorlift has access to this. We're thinking about what are the most valuable things we can bring to the community. You know, we're like, okay, we could do courses on closing, we could do courses on, you know, Google Ads, courses on all these different things, but none of that matters if you don't get this done. So super, super happy that you're part of our community, that you can bring this knowledge to your community. And yeah, this is just the start. Guys, if you find value, make sure to give Scotty a shout out and spread the love to everyone else in the community. Let them know that this guy's legit, his stuff's legit. And we want to hear from you about how this impacted your life once you go through, get it done. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for listening to this. And good luck. Thanks so much, Scotty.
Absolutely, brother.
Absolutely. Cheers.